Well, Richard, first of all, you've been at the football club for a couple of months now. How are you settling in? How are you finding it?
Yeah, settling in really well. It's a great opportunity that we've come to the club at this point, and it's one that we really want to stamp our authority on moving forward.
A bit about your background. When did it all begin for you? Your footballing journey.
Career ended quite young with injuries, and that was when I first came upon our relationship starting with Michael. Finished playing, knew that I had to embark on what was my first love of football. From a family perspective, my dad was a coach, so I always saw the game in that way from discussions after my own games. So it felt like a natural progression for me to go straight into it at a relatively young age of 18.
How difficult was it to have to end your playing career at such a young age?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, and you can't really explain that unless it's something you've experienced yourself. And there'll be many ex-players out there who can really relate to that. But knowing that the coaching journey is the next best thing, it really does help, and then it energises you to go forward into that.
And that's something you would have had in common, of course, with Michael, isn't it, who had a similar misfortune?
Yeah, that's right. A lot of similarities, obviously different levels, because Michael was playing up at the top end at the time. And then again, that's how we met when we first started our coaching journey, not too far away from Shrewsbury at Lilleshall.
And did you hit it off straight away?
We did, yeah. Again, Michael was just finishing, and obviously it was a difficult career. I was a little bit further on from that, knowing that I was going down the coaching journey, and we kept in touch. We had similar views on football from that perspective, and that's how the relationships evolved over the past just over 20 years.
And before coming to Shrewsbury, if you just give us a bit of an insight into where your coaching career has taken you?
Yeah, so I started at York City at the time, and then moved to Hull. So I was at Hull City in 2008. Was given a fantastic opportunity to work with some great people and some fantastic players who are making a name for themselves in the game now. I was at Hull City for almost 12 years, which is relatively unheard of. And then got the opportunity to move from academy football into first team football with Michael. Went in there at Lincoln City, where we had 3 good years, and it was a massive experience for me.
How did you find that, making the transition from academy football to coaching first team senior players?
Relatively straightforward, surprisingly. I think it's because I felt I was at that stage of my career where I needed to step on and really go into first team football, and obviously that was made easier working alongside Michael with how he went about things, and a very, very similar view on how we want the game to be played.
And since then you've worked together at Blackpool and Charlton as well?
Yep, that's right. So the past 4 clubs, starting from Lincoln, then to Blackpool, Charlton, and now Shrewsbury. What
makes the relationship between the two of you work? What's the dynamic?
Well, we have a good personal relationship away from football, and also professionally we work really well. And I think the big thing is not being too precious. So from my perspective as Michael's assistant, I have to be prepared to challenge. Obviously, although we see the game very similar, sometimes we have different opinions, and there's times when I'll put my opinion forward and Michael will accept. There'll be other times when he won't accept it and be quite forthright in his response. But that's for me not to take anything personal and to support the manager, and whatever the manager decides we go with, and we're fully behind that.
How did you spend the time between leaving Charlton and getting the opportunity to come here to Shrewsbury Town?
Like probably a lot of other people, going around different clubs, watching different games, you attend courses, you speak to other people who are in the game, you speak to people in other industries, which I think is really important, just to get a broader aspect of business, a broader aspect of professional environments and leadership and cultures. So yeah, it's best to utilise your time as more positive as you can.
So what was your reaction when Michael gave you the call and said, how do you fancy going into Shrewsbury Town, especially given the position the club were in at the time?
Still, it was a massive sense of excitement. because nothing gets the fire in your belly burning as much as the opportunity to go back in and get on the grass and work with players. And although it was a difficult time for the club, again, from my perspective and from our perspective, we saw it as an opportunity to really press the reset button.
And how valuable was it to have those final 9 games of the season to assess and see what sort of shape the playing squad was in?
Massive, because I'm sure all the supporters will be able to see there's a contrast in styles of how we wanted to go about things and what we wanted to do moving forward. So it was a good opportunity to look at what was already in the building, what different contract situations people were under, and obviously what we would need moving forward. So it was a real opportunity to assess and really be quite measured in our decision making.
Is that always difficult when you have to make decisions on players' futures? There was quite a few players who have left the club since the end of last season. Is that one it takes a lot of conversations before you all decide on what direction you're going to go with every player?
It is, and it's never nice, and it's never easy. But unfortunately, it's part of the game. It's what we have to do. It's what we've had to do while ever we've been in the game. So all we have to do is make sure we make the right decisions for us and for Shrewsbury Town Football Club moving forward. And
you still had, from last season's squad, 13 players under contract, which is quite a lot in some ways. What do you think about that in terms of having 13 players already under contract from last season's squad moving forward?
We have to control the controllables, and that's what it is. We have those players already at the football club, they're already contracted, and we've already had discussions about how that fits into what we want to do, how we want to move forward. And obviously we've got our eyes on targets to come into the football club to make us better.
And straight away, you wasted no time to strengthen the squad with Tom Anderson coming in from Doncaster, vastly experienced central defender. What's attracted you to making Tom your first signing for Shrewsbury Town, yourself and Michael?
Well, Tom's been a player that we've been aware of for numerous years, obviously starting at Burnley, and then the career that he's had promotions out of League Two. We've come up against him, played a couple of times when he was at Doncaster and we were at Lincoln in League One. He was a solid defender, and as well, it's the same as everything. You utilise your contacts, so you ask questions, and we've had nothing but positive responses regarding Tom, about him being a leader, how professional he is on and off the pitch, and that's a character that we want to bring into the football club, and we feel that he can really fit into the way that we want to play.
Is it nice to get that first signing done and dusted so early into the close season as well?
It is, because hopefully it gives you a little bit of momentum to move on to your next one, and we know, and you can start to see things starting to take shape. And it gives you that little bit of excitement moving forward, that come the first day of pre-season, right, we really got our first step forward.
Are you close to any more signings being announced at this stage? Are you getting closer?
We are getting closer. We're speaking to a few players and agents, as you do, but so will every other football club in the EFL. It's such a busy time, phones are constantly ringing, messages are being sent, and that's just the way it is. So it's an exciting time.
Yes, exciting, isn't it, to really make your stamp on the squad and to build something here?
Yeah, definitely. That's what we want to do. We want to be able to build, and we know that, obviously, as the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day, but we'll definitely be striving and moving forward and taking those steps in the right direction.
Well, it's been very well documented that Michael has had great success in the loan market at his previous clubs, working with yourself as well. How key is that going to be going into the new season, trying to get the right kind of exciting additions on loan?
It is, and obviously they're part of the discussions that we're having, and we're exploring numerous avenues. But as you previously said, we've had great success in the future, and there's a lot of trust put in the manager from the big clubs, because they know how he works, the particular style of football he has. So yeah, it's an exciting time.
Does it make recruitment all the more difficult now that the club are a League Two club for the first time in a decade, having had 10 years at League One level?
A little bit, but again, like I said, it's an opportunity to press the reset button and the club to really get an identity moving forward, which in years and years to come will hopefully be able to build on and get back to obviously where the club wants to be in given time.
And in terms of style of play, the way you want Shrewsbury Town to play, we saw glimpses of that, didn't we, in the closing weeks of the season. This is something you're keen to implement and move forward, playing out from the back, etc.
Yeah, definitely. It's a style of football that we believe is what we will class as the right way. Other people have different views, and that's fine. And not everybody does things the same way, but that's the way that we feel. That's our identity. That's what we want the club identity to be. And we understand that at times you're going to have to mix it. You're not always going to be able to play the right way, but we will give the players the authority to make the right decisions at the right time of when, where and how to play.
The players are still very early into their summer breaks. When does it all start again? Have you got it all mapped out when the players are going to be coming back for pre-season?
We have. We're going to be looking towards the end of June when they're coming back in. But it is an important time for the players to have a little bit of downtime and enjoy their holidays and relax and recuperate, because regardless of what the outcome of the season was, it's physically, mentally, emotionally demanding. It is, especially when you're going Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, and the training that goes in between and the travel involved. Unless you do it, you don't really understand it. So it's important for them to rest and recover. They have their pre-season programmes, so they'll be doing their own little bit, and they'll be ramping it up closer we get to June.
How much are you looking forward to pre-season, getting the squad and adding to it and looking to take the club forward?
Massively. I've said it before, it's a massive excitement moving forward. We can really stamp our authority on the group. We can play the particular way that we want to, and that'll start right from day one of pre-season.
How big a challenge is ahead for Shrewsbury Town going into League Two? It's a division the club haven't been in for a considerable amount of time. We've seen there's some big clubs in the division as well. You know, what are the hopes of the aspirations moving forward?
Well, if you were to speak to any player would say they want to win the league. And we want players to really be positive. But as a football club, sometimes you have to sustain and build before you can strive. So as a football club, we really want to take stock of where we are. And we understand that there's some big clubs in this league with resources which far outweigh ourselves. But what I can guarantee is that we'll be really competitive with how we play and what we do. And we really back ourselves to outperform.
And again, just going back to where we started this conversation, in terms of the welcome you've received, the support from the fans, has that impressed you? The dedication, how many fans turn up to get behind the team each week?
It has. It's brilliant. It's brilliant that the fans turn out, and hopefully we can give the fans a football club that they can be proud of next season, that they can come and be excited by watching how we play. And I think in glimpses throughout the back end of the season, you saw improvements about how we wanted to play and how we wanted to do things. And there was some great bits of footage that we showed the players that just keep believing and keep sticking to the plan, and it will come to fruition.
Well, great to meet you. Thanks for your time, Richard, and all the best moving forward.
Cheers, thank you.